BBC World News, I'm Geeta Gurumurthy. Our top stories. The former German Chancellor Helmut Kohl dies aged 87. Mr. Kohl was Germany's longest-serving Chancellor, presiding over German reunification and a driving force behind European integration. Frustration and anger following the Tower Block fire in West London as crowds gather to add their voice to growing calls for answers.
It looks like people are actually trying to get in to the council to make their point directly.
President Trump confirms on Twitter that he's under investigation for sacking the FBI director James Comey. It comes as he's on his way to Miami, where he's expected to announce new trade and travel restrictions on Cuba. Also in the programme, it's often hailed as a superfood, but now new research says that coconut oil is as unhealthy as beef fat or butter.
Good morning, excuse me, good evening.
Hello.
Good to see you here. So, how are you doing, Nastya?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm great, doing great. What's new? What happened? What new happened during the time when I haven't seen you?
I passed my exams, so now I'm just having the rest. I don't know.
Are you sure that you have successfully passed them? Because as I know, the Russian national exam was, let's say, Tuesday and no, Monday and Wednesday and Thursday, right?
No, it wasn't Tuesday and Thursday.
Tuesday and Thursday, okay. But for somebody, I think even today, on Friday, they still have the second day. Okay. So, you took your Russian national exam, right?
Yes, right.
And when will you know the results?
I don't know, maybe for 2 weeks, maybe for 10 days.
In 2 weeks?
Yes, in 2 weeks, sorry.
All right, so around which date? Let's say June, today is June 30th?
I think on the end of June.
June 30th, okay. Good. So, you said that you are happy. Why are you so happy?
Because I passed my exams. Now I'm free.
Again, you know that's the difference in the vocabulary which we use. And so we usually take an exam, then God forbid we fail an exam, and successfully we pass the exam. So when we said that I took an exam, but I'm not sure whether I passed it successfully or not. So you said that you passed it. How do you know that it was a success?
I hope. I don't think that I did it bad.
So just tell me a little bit about your exam.
In fact, it wasn't really hard or difficult. It was normal. The topic of essay was really good. It was school uniforms are useless, so it's good. The listening comprehension was normal. It wasn't hard. So I don't think that whole exam was hard. It was easy.
Okay, how about the second part, the speaking part?
Speaking wasn't too hard too, but I think that I made some mistakes in the fourth task.
Just tell me a little bit about the text, about the pictures, about the questions, about everything.
The first task, the text was about paper.
Mhm.
I don't remember, sorry, but it was just something about paper.
What do you mean by paper? It's just like a material or a newspaper? Or what kind of paper?
Just like a material,
Okay.
how the paper.
Was invented.
Yes, right.
Kind of a China. It was about China.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. And were there any unfamiliar words to you?
Maybe 2 words, but I don't remember them.
Okay, I see.
But there was something.
Okay, good. And then questions?
Questions were about. Wait, I forgot.
Let's say if I just followed the discussions on the social networks, and it was some of the questions were about the vet hospital, where
No, it was.
it wasn't yours.
No.
Okay. Then what was the other one? Okay, I can have a look. Maybe you will remember something. So you see questions about the recreation on the lake.
No.
Something about transportation.
No.
Okay. It's just like location, price, accommodation, transportation facilities. And then so the starting point. No.
Yes, it was.
And it's just like tourist attractions. No.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe yes.
But still, you can't think of all of this. The whole situation you don't remember. Discounts, departure dates, destinations in Europe, tourist attractions. No?
Something like this.
Okay, so you were sure that the questions were which you asked were correct, right?
I hope.
Okay.
I'm not sure so well, but I hope.
Yeah. Okay. How many times have you visited my classes?
It is the first time.
It's the first time. Okay. Yeah. Very welcome. Where are you from?
I'm from Ukta, Republic on the Republic. Sorry.
From what?
Ukta.
And what is
Ukta.
that? Ukta. And what is that? Where is that?
Komi Republic.
Ah, okay, I got you. Yeah, okay, interesting. And where did you learn your English?
I learned it in school and with my tutors and by myself.
Okay. Have you ever visited some countries abroad?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Because your English is very impressive. It's really good.
Okay.
How
Thank
about
you.
what kind of school did you go to?
It's not the school with English languages. It's just normal school. I don't know how to say it.
That's we say it a regular school. A regular.
Regular school.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
a regular school, and for the type of school you're talking about, we can say sometimes I use the term like emphasized English language school, secondary school. Okay, good. And which textbooks have you studied?
The author.
The what?
The author.
Yeah, just the titles. Like for example, it's Spotlight.
Happy English.
Happy English. Okay. It was it was in your secondary school, right? And how about your private tutors? You said that you also learned your English with tutors. So what were the titles of the books?
You know what tutors helped me just to. It helped me to prepare for my exams.
But did they use any kind of books?
No, we just prepared for my exams and that's all.
Interesting, very interesting. Okay, yeah, because you know, for me, as you know, I am a teacher, and so that is why I can't think of having classes without a textbook. I don't know. Maybe I might be wrong here, but usually I have a book for the class. Okay.
It's good, you know.
Good. Then next is about the second part. No, sorry, part 3, like comparing pictures. No, so choosing the picture.
Yes, yes.
So what were the pictures about, and which did you choose?
The first picture was about. It was the vet doctor.
Yeah.
With the dog. The
And
second I don't remember really. And the third I have chosen it. It was about there were two girls and they were eating ice cream, and I suppose that they were in a park. So I have chosen it.
Okay. So do you remember your description? Can you remind me what you spoke about?
I guess.
Yeah,
I will try.
Yeah, sure. Interesting. Please do.
So, what?
Just tell me what you told during the exam about the picture.
Oh, okay. I've chosen photo number 3. I've seen our latest photos, and I'd like you to have a look at this one. I took this shot last summer. My friends and I were in one of New York's parks. So in the foreground of the photo, you can see my friends. In the background of the picture, there are many trees in the park. So my friends, the weather is really warm, so the girls are wearing light t-shirts and trousers, and they are eating ice cream. So they are smiling, and they are posing at the camera, and they're having a good time. I kept this photo in my album because I wanted to keep the memories of that beautiful day. And I decided to show this picture to you because you asked me to show you a photo from my New York trips. So, do you like it? So that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, good. Now,
I'd like you to have a look at this one. I took this shot last summer. The friends and I were in one of New York's parks. In the foreground of the photo, you can see my friends. In the background of the picture, there are many trees in the park.
okay, it's just, for you to have an idea. Have you listened to what you recorded? Was it possible to listen to?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, were you alone in the room when you did this speaking part, or were there around some 3 to 4 people around you?
It was only one girl.
And did you talk at the same time?
Yes.
So, was it interfering with your speaking?
No, I think no.
Did you listen to some music in your earphones?
Yes.
Okay, good, excellent. Well, the only thing which I'm a little bit in hesitations is this part that you said that you were in New York, and I asked you, and you said that you never went abroad. So
It was just like imagination.
no, today it's just the topic of my conversation today. It's how I understand truth and being honest. But that's all right. Yeah, that's just different opinions. I'm just wondering. Okay, and then there were several things which I also have some doubts. Just like you said that you took this picture because you wanted to have some memories of this beautiful day, and also you showed it to your friend because your friend asked you to show some pictures from your New York trip. Well, I think that those were the sentences which you prepared before, right?
Yes, good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I understand. But that's all right. Okay, and now please tell me a little bit about this. Compare and contrast the pictures.
In the first photo, there were two girls, and they were lying on a bed, and they were reading some book or magazine. In the second photo, there were three children. There was two girls and one boy, and they were in a swimming pool. And I think that swimming pool was in a yard.
Okay.
So that's it.
But you see, you have to say which situation you prefer to be at.
I said that I would prefer the situation presented in the photo number 2 because I like to swim. I like to swim. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I like swimming. I like to swim. That's both ways are possible. Only they have slightly different meaning, but that's okay. So good, excellent. And I see that you are pretty aware of your answer, and you're pretty confident, and that's good. That sounds good to me. Okay. The only thing why I'm asking about that is I'm just trying to figure out how the students figure out how to pass this exam successfully. Okay, but that's good. Do you have any questions to me?
I don't know. Maybe not.
All right. So, what I want you to talk today is, and that's definitely what I took from one of the books. The topic will be called "If Only." Does it ring a bell to you? Like, if only. What does that mean?
Если бы только, как жаль.
Say it again, please.
Как жаль, если бы только.
Well,
I wish.
Yeah, please do not switch into Russian, because when you say something in Russian, I still think that you said something in English, and I'm trying to figure out to understand what was that. So please do not switch.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay, because it's kind of a hard to. I will ask you if I will just when I do not understand what you're saying, I will ask you to say in Russian when I just will be at a loss, and will have no other ideas how to understand what you're saying. But that's all right. So today we'll talk about, and the topic will be called. Let me be sure about how it is called in the book. So your attitude to truth and honesty. Your attitude to truth and honesty. So you know that I would like to start beginning with several situations. Like the first situation is a friend gives you an expensive present. Unfortunately, you have recently bought exactly the same thing for yourself. And your friend asks you if you like it. What would you say?
I will say, thank you so much. I'm really glad to, and I don't know, I'm happy. And
okay, let me elaborate, extend a little bit. Let's say that this is a very expensive dress, and your friend, she gives you this absolutely same dress, like, you know, same color, same style, same model, everything, absolutely the same dress. So what would you say?
wait, she gives me this dress, and I have the same dress.
Yeah.
I will thank her because I know that this dress is really expensive, and I will appreciate this.
Okay, good. All right. So now I will just read you several quotations about lies. And my question to you is, will you agree with these quotations? And do you can you think of the author of the quotation? Okay. The moment a man talks to his fellows, the meaning is to his friends, he begins to lie. The very moment the person starts to talk to his friends, he begins to lie. Do you agree or not?
I don't.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
So you mean that people always tell only the truth to each other?
No, but I don't think that they always lie to each other.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I would think of myself, just if somebody asks me the question like that, I would remember, you know, I tend to be a very honest person, but I would remember that every day I would just pretend about something when I talk to my wife, for example, or when I talk to my students. I would just pretend that I'm better, that I actually am. Like, for example, I would tell my wife something like, I called you several times and you never answered my phone calls when I didn't call her. You know, or yeah, and I was just, you know, sometimes I would be very much surprised. Why would I say that? And she, and she was just like, okay, let me have a look at the cell phone. Well, there are no phone calls from you. And I was just like, yeah, I was just thinking about calling you. Sorry. Or yeah, you know, or talking to my students. I would just tell them, you know, that students almost everywhere in the world are like you, and they will ask you like, have you seen the students doing the same thing in the United States of America? And I will say, yeah. And then I was just my goodness, I haven't seen it. Why would I tell it? Yeah, so I think that it's a very interesting topic. Okay, so and the author of this quotation is one of the British writers whom I do not know. Sorry, his name is Hilaire Belloc. Then the next quotation is. Unless a man feels he had a good enough memory, he should never lie. So, only the meaning is that only if you are 100% sure that you have a very excellent memory, then you can you can lie. What do you think?
If I'm sure that if I'm sure in my memory,
Yeah. Yeah.
I always lie.
No, it's again unless. Do you know the meaning of the word unless? Unless.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. Unless. This is if only. This is exactly if only.
Okay.
Unless I can write it in Russian because I want you to learn some new vocabulary, and this word is absolutely 100% necessary for you. Okay, just let me write it.
I will write it down.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
unless a man feels he has a good enough memory, so you can use it like so unless, and I want you to remember the phrase because this is how we use it in English.
Mm-hmm.
Unless a man feels he has a good memory. Unless a man feels he has a good memory, he should never lie. So the meaning is that when you lie, you have to have a very good memory. Otherwise, you will forget what you said, and people will very easily catch you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Can you comment a little bit on that?
Yes, when I was a girl, little girl,
Mhm.
when I was younger,
Yeah.
it was many situations when I lied
Yeah.
to my
Yeah.
friend. I just made up one story,
Mhm.
and then she knew that it was just my fantasy
Mhm.
and imagination, and it was really, it was horrible,
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I agree.
I just forgot. I just forgot that I lied. That I made this story up,
Yeah.
and she asked me something about it, and I just was like, I don't know. What are you talking about? It wasn't good.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Okay, and the author of this quotation is Michel de Montaigne, and this is a French essayist, Michel de Montaigne. Okay, the next person is very famous, but I will not tell you his name. First of all, we will discuss his quotation, and then we will talk about this person. The greater the lie, the greater the chance that it will be believed. The greater the lie, the greater the chance that it will be believed. Do you agree or not?
I don't really understand this.
Okay, I will just type it. Yeah, I know, but the quotation by, well, not that great people, but very famous. He is notoriously famous, this person. And I think that when you understand his quotation, you will remember this quotation in Russian. The greater the lie, the greater the chance that it will be believed. Okay. Okay, let me explain. You know, sometimes when we talk about celebrities, about politicians, well, that's very easy to say something about them, and everybody will believe it. Just like, and it is absolutely not possible for this celebrity or a person who is in this story or politician. It's almost impossible for him to prove that it is not true. Just let's say, you remember this story about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, right? That they got divorced and so on. So, you know, somebody said that he was drunk.
Yes, I heard that.
Yeah, you heard that, correct? And then another person said that he hit some of his kids, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's think in a different way. Let's think that this is not true. You know, still lots of people would believe that it was true, whether it happened in reality or not. You see my point?
Yeah.
So
yes.
here is, when you lie, you have to be very much confident that this is true. You just tell something absolutely unbelievable and people will believe you.
Yes.
So do you agree?
Yes, I did.
Can you comment a little bit?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I understand that this is pretty difficult topic, and why I'm saying it, because I take it from the book. I can show it to you. This is the first certificate master class from Oxford University Press. I like the books like that. It's just your level, absolutely your level, and you know that it makes you think, it makes you express your ideas on the spot, you know, without any preparation. And this is why I like these books. So the author of this quotation is Adolf Hitler.
Oh.
You know, German dictator, 1889-1945. So I think that this was one of the concepts which helped him to get the power, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and the last one is, I think that you know him. It's Robert Louis Stevenson. This is the Scottish writer. Okay.
Yes.
So what he said, and again, it's not that easy to understand, but I like these quotations because they make you try to understand the real English. The cruelest lies, the cruelest excuse me, I have to put double L. The cruelest lies are often told in silence. So, the cruelest lies, I think that you understand this part, the cruelest lies. And to tell somebody something in silence, that means in Russian we have, it's an idiom, and in Russian we also have an idiom, but the Russian idiom sounds like that. You see, the cruelest lies are often told in silence. So, can you comment on this part?
But all lies are often inside the person. The most cruel lies. Yes. I don't know how to say this, you know. It's difficult. The cutest lies are always in our minds. I think so.
Well, if you ask me the question like that, it's just like, you know, sometimes people are very competitive, and I will have to work together with some other translators, and I see that sometimes they are doing better job that I am doing. So what I can do is I can tell something to them which is absolute nonsense, which is absolutely impossible. Just like I can just interrupt them and say, what are you talking about? Do not forget that everything is being recorded. Just pay attention to what you're saying. And of course, you know, nothing is being recorded. It's just like all of a sudden I will somehow think that it would be a good idea to record what the person is saying. But at the same time, I was just thinking in my head that probably this person is doing not a very good job when I see that he is doing better than me. So the cruelest lies are often told in silence. That's how I understand. Well, I didn't know that this topic would be so sullen, is how can I say, so dark. I thought it would be fun. Okay, let's change a little bit and move to some other things. Have you ever heard about a white lie?
What yes.
What is that white lie?
I think that what white lie is lie for something good. You know, to bring some I don't know how to say, you know, not for bad, but for good.
Well, white lie is I have a definition from the book: a harmless lie told to avoid hurting someone. So it's
Yes.
yeah. Okay, can you think of some examples? A harmless lie told to avoid hurting someone. So can you think of some examples?
Recently I have read some story, some book.
Yeah.
And there was There was a girl, and she had some problems in school, but teachers said her that they want to see her mom, but the girl understood that mom has really huge problems with the work, so she didn't want to say her anything, and she didn't.
Okay.
Because she didn't want to, I don't know, to hurt her mom.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted her mom not to worry about her. So it was, I think, it was a white lie.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't say anything. She said that everything is going in school.
Okay, good.
I think.
Yeah. Yes, please. Yeah, go ahead.
That's all. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Good. Yeah, so, right now I will ask you to translate this white lie into Russian. Do we have the same kind of a idiom or phrase which will give the meaning? Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, then, or I have my translations like, and okay, so good, and I can think of you know, several years ago when a person was diagnosed with cancer. It was not allowed for the doctors to tell this person about to tell the truth about his diagnosis, and that this person is going to die, and even to tell him the term of time, the period of time which is left for him to live. So yeah, it's kind of a white lie for doctors or whatever. Okay, another thing is I just remember a compulsive liar, and you can use this compulsive for many other things. A compulsive liar is a person who lies for fun. Lies for fun. Do you know some people who do it? Can you think of some people like that?
I do not know.
Okay. Let me. I have a story about that. Let me just tell you this story. So, this is a lady, and she's just talking, and she said, "I have to admit, my life would have been pretty dull if I hadn't told a few lies from time to time. Not wicked ones, not wicked. You know the word wicked?
No.
No? Okay. I will just try and write it for you. Wicked. This is another meaning is evil. Like you can say in many fairy tales. You know fairy tales?
Yes.
So in many fairy tales, you can use like Cinderella, right? You know Cinderella?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Cinderella has a wicked stepmother.
Oh, okay.
We usually say it like wicked stepmother. So she said here that from time to time my life would been pretty dull if I hadn't told a few lies. Not wicked ones, not very bad ones. You know, just white lies that do not hurt anyone. I remember once I was at a party and I got stuck with this really boring boy. All he could talk was about football. Anyway, after about half an hour, I was really fed up. So I told him that my cousin used to play for the national team of England. His eyes nearly popped out of his head. He wanted to know my cousin's name and if I could introduce him to him and everything. So I said that it was Paul Gascoigne. I thought that he was going to pass out. Do you know to pass out?
Not really.
Okay, that's again the vocabulary which you have to know. This is to lose your consciousness. To lose consciousness. And this is in Russian. Okay. To pass out, to lose consciousness. Consciousness. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to correct consciousness. Oh my goodness. Okay, good. So, you see, this is a compulsive liar, or in Russian we can say something like you know, you can use this compulsive to any other things, like a compulsive smoker. Okay, good. Yeah. So do you know some people who can be compulsive liars?
I think it's children.
It's a what?
Maybe children.
Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely.
Not children.
Yeah, right. Okay. So just before we talk about something else, here you have what I want you to remember is you know, the word deceive. It's here. Deceive, deception, and deceptive. And what I like here is the rule of correct writing. I before E except after C. Have you ever heard of this rule? Right?
No.
No? But this is fun because, you know, you do not always remember how to write, how to spell correctly believe and deceive. They are different. Different spelling rule. Okay. Good. So the next thing which I want you to talk about is let's say the black sheep of the family. Excuse me. What is that? The black sheep of the family. Or maybe you heard of a skeleton in the closet, or the skeleton in the cupboard. Have you heard of that? No?
I think I understand what is it, but I can't explain it in English.
Okay, let's go take this somewhere to some websites. Let's say go Google and let's see what Google says. The black sheep of the family. Yeah, you see it's here, and you see the picture, right? And it says in the English language, black sheep is an idiom used to describe a disreputable member of a group, especially within a family. Well, maybe not enough. It's just like you can see the flock of sheep, and one of them is black and all of other is white. So how can you translate this black sheep of the family into Russian?
Maybe белая ворона.
Okay, let's go to the Russian dictionary, and I encourage you to use this one. Do you know this dictionary?
No.
You see, that's the translation.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see, that's kind of a something, and you know that this word also, we do not use it a lot, but in English, in the British English, it's pretty much used. This is the word, like, you know, maybe you heard of that.
Yes.
Yeah, this is that's the correct translation. All right. But they use it a lot. So right now, you know the good meaning and the bad meaning of the black sheep of the family. And what you said, like, let me see. Okay, you wanted to say this one, right?
Yes.
So you see, sometimes it says like black sheep, it's possible, but the odd one out is better. Do you understand the meaning, the odd one out?
Not really.
Okay, I will explain it to you because it's necessary for you to know. Usually we have the tests like that. Let's say, for example, if I will just, what is odd? First of all, the word odd. Excuse me. Odd is just, this one is odd. Okay, this is an odd number. And how about this one? Do you know how you can say it in English? That should be even number, odd number and even number, okay? And I want you to memorize this because this is necessary for you to know. So just hold on. It's odd number and even number. Odd number and even number. Okay. So odd one out, it's usually a test. Let's say, for example, I will give you 4 words, and those words will be a dog, a cat, a fish, a cow, and a table. So odd one out.
Table.
Yeah, that's correct. So now you know the test, which is odd one out. So
okay, I got it.
Yeah, you understand, right? Now you see what it means. Yeah, that's not a big deal. Okay, so what we talked about is the black sheep of the family. So can you think of some, and another part is a skeleton in the cupboard or a skeleton in the closet. What is that? A skeleton. Skeleton? In the... Yeah, in the cupboard. What is that? Or a...
It's like some, I think that some person has some secrets that
right.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, and can you think of something, secrets like that?
I don't know.
Well, sometimes it can happen. I just remember lots of stories given in these books, just like when people grew up, all of a sudden they learn that they have, let's say, a brother, and it's just from a different family. So, and nobody told you earlier about that. So this is sometimes which is called a skeleton in the closet or a skeleton in the cupboard. The difference between these two phrases is that a skeleton in the cupboard is more British and skeleton in the closet is more American. Okay, good. Now, back to the vocabulary. I usually like to write lots of words. So you see, I just covered from these textbooks the vocabulary. You can see, for example, here it says cheat is a measure of intelligence, and here you have the translation. Do you agree with that or not?
Maybe yes.
Can you think of some examples?
Sometimes you have to be like a tutor, and I think you will gain your goals. Sometimes it helps, really.
Yeah. Have you ever cheated during the exams?
On the exams, no, but some tests, maybe sometimes yes.
What's that?
On the exams, I didn't.
Okay.
But on some tests, I did.
Okay, I understand. I see. Because you know that sometimes people think that it will just help them to be more aware in their knowledge, and that they will be able to show their knowledge in a better way. And what I learned from these books also, how people learned about that, they did some laboratory tests with monkeys, with gorillas, and they saw that gorillas, they tend to trick their partners, to play tricks on their partners in order to survive, and that helped them a lot. Sometimes they imitated the behavior. They just, they pretend that they are sick, or that they are hungry, and that will give them the opportunity to survive. Okay, good. And the last thing which I want you to remind is, how about that? Is it possible to flutter with your eyelashes?
Yes.
Why would people do that?
I think girls do that.
Okay.
Only women, I think.
All right, I see. Yeah, and here also some other vocabulary for you is busybody. That's the person. Sometimes something happens in your family, and this person will come up to you and just ask, "Oh, I heard that your sister and her husband split. They separated. Is it true?" And then the last word for today is it's blatant lie. Just for you to remember, it's blatant lie. Okay. So after that, after the class like that, it will be possible for you to write an essay, just about the topic might be how you understand what is truth, or how do you understand the honesty or honest behavior, and so on. So this is how this topic is presented in one of the Oxford books. Okay, the time is up. Any questions, any comments, any just things to discuss?
I want to just thank you. It was really useful lesson for me. I hear very many new words. They are really useful for me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's not me. Again, as I said, I like the books. I just will show it to you over again. Yeah, so that's the first certificate master class. Okay. It's not possible to download this book. I mean the later editions. They are not that good. The later editions, which are, this is the purple color, and the later editions, they are yellowish color or something. So they are different. They are not that good. But this book is excellent. Why excellent? Because it gives you lots and lots of very useful vocabulary, and it gives you a chance to think of lots of stuff. After I read the stories which are given here, I usually start thinking about family secrets, or about compulsive liars, or about white lies. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Okay, that's it for today. Yeah, that's it for today, and thank you for joining the class, and I hope that you will receive an excellent mark, an excellent grade in your English exam. So please let me know about your results. I will be very much interested. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Goodbye.